Feminines podcast and channel. I'm your host, Steph Desar, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about choosing to not be with your twin flame. Yes, you heard me correct, choosing to not be with your twin flame. And before I get started, don't forget to like and subscribe this channel. We're Divine Feminines on YouTube and all major podcast platforms as Apple, Spotify, Google, you name it. And we're also on Instagram and TikTok, and that's Divine Feminines with a Z at the end. Now, while I can subscribe specifically the YouTube channel, you get extra bonus content on the moon, portals, manifestation, guidance. But all in all, the whole podcast movement has great stuff for your mind, body and soul, both divine masculine, divine feminine, how to be a better version of yourself, how to elevate and rise in your divine power that you all have within. So I hope you enjoy this episode and all of the other episodes we've got. I'm sure there's lots of great stuff for all of you in some way, shape or form. And welcome back to all of our regular subscribers, the Soul Tribe, and a big warm welcome for anyone new that's joining. So I got this download in the shower earlier today. I had a queue of episodes that I said I'm going to do, and I still am going to do them. They were all written down, sort of like, yeah, okay, I'm going to do this one next. Right, okay. Definitely will be covering, and stay tuned for that one, sexual energy, celibacy and alchemy. That's one title, and how they all are connected. And I'm really excited to record that one. So that one will be out soon too. But that was actually the plan. I thought, actually, no, that wasn't the plan. I had a couple of other ones, and then the sexual energy came to me. I was like, all right, okay, I'm going to do that one first. And I was in the shower and I was like, choosing to not be with your twin flame and knowing that that's like the best decision you could ever make. Now I need to share this. And it's definitely coming from a place from personal experience and from a place of power and a place of real certainty that I felt, you know what, I think that this could be a really great message and wholesome, authentic message that can really help a lot of the divine feminines out here right now. So yeah, let me get into a bit of it. Now, I haven't really structured this. You know, sometimes I do write a little bit of an episode plan, sometimes I don't. And this is definitely one that I've not planned for. I literally got that download in the shower earlier today and said, I'm going to do it. And I spoke to a lovely divine feminine soul sister earlier, and she was like, yeah, do it. And it was so nice because I heard from her like unexpectedly, and she was just in such beautiful energy, rising in her divine feminine power. And I was like, girl, you are doing so well. You're rising, like, honestly, you're surpassing, you know, twin flame dynamics. You're going way past that. And so I want to kind of ground this and bring this back to earth here. So she basically, bring it back to earth. She basically was like, Steph, talk about it. This is amazing. Like, I'm with you. Like, I love what you're saying, and I love all of what you're about. And, you know, I'm truly inspired by, you know, a lot of your journey and what you share, because it's helped me. So shout out to the soul sis. I don't want to expose her and say her name because I didn't get permission yet. So she knows who she is. I love you lots. But yeah, twin flame journey. Right. I've done episodes before. There was something that was calling me this year to do episodes that were just individual, myself, no guests. So you'll notice that I don't have any guests. I did like one recently, shout out Connor from Dream Fruit UK, because we talked about dreams, but that's the only sort of collaboration I've done since going on a more solo set of videos in the last 8 months. So that's the only one I've done. And when I decided to go more solo, I knew that I needed to come onto the journey of going solo and speaking about what it really was, why I was inspired to call this podcast The Divine Feminines. And very much it was coming to the core of me finding my divine feminine power and rising up as a divine feminine and really bringing that into balance with my masculine energy and healing both feminine and masculine energies. In order to rise in your feminine energy, it's not just, oh, you have to do more feminine driven things or things that align to feminine energy more. You have to also heal your masculine wounds, bring the masculine energy into a more healthy space. And as you're doing that, you're healing the feminine wounds and bringing that into a more healthier space, so there's no distortions. And then you're starting to like balance between the two, so you've got that yin and yang, and it's more of a dance between the two energies, and you're able to identify and naturally work with the two without it being so much of an effort, because it becomes more effortless because you find that center point and that balance, right? So I wanted to talk about that and I wanted to share my journey. But at the same time, a lot of my divine feminine awakening, my divine feminine energy rising was, catalyzed by the twin flame journey. And I felt like I did need to share a lot of what happened to me during my twin flame awakening. And that was pretty much what triggered a lot of my spiritual awakening. I do think that there's probably other events like my mum passing and other dynamics with, work or friends or family. But the core, the central core of the awakening was really triggered by a twin flame. And I had met the twin flame years and years ago before I really started to like awaken. But there was probably moments that were happening that were slightly edging me further and, closer and closer to the big awakening. There's just like these little nudges to when that moment needed to happen, and the towers started, occurring, and I was starting to have some significant deaths. Being a Scorpio, we have so many deaths and rebirths, especially when you're a Scorpio that's very conscious of who you are and wanting to become better. You do have very distorted Scorpios that don't want to do the work, and they can be quite harsh Scorpios. So sometimes when people hear, oh, you're a Scorpio, it's because they might have had some bad situations with some distorted Scorpios. But so it is with other people that are not Scorpio and any other zodiac sign. If they're not doing the work, do you know what I mean? They can be just as challenging to be around and triggering to be around and everything. So I did those episodes around, how do you know it's your twin flame awakening, separation and all of that. And, where I was at those times was, I made peace with the fact that, I had no expectations as such of the twin flame dynamic, of a union or anything. And at the time I was really feeling like I just needed to share some content from my authentic experience. Now, I've said many times in those videos, wanting a twin flame or like searching for a twin flame is almost like a little bit weird, because it's not all that is cut out to be. It's tough work. It's not like some big lifetime romance. Yes, there's romance, but there's a lot of intensity. There's a heck load of mirroring and triggering, and it just can be very, very painful. So it's not this like romance that that just is so seamless and smooth. It is it's probably the most tumultuous and challenging relationships you'll ever have, connection you'll have, if you've ever experienced one. And I also said that not everyone will meet a twin flame in this lifetime. Why? Because not everyone's on the same journey. It depends on what our soul has asked to experience in this lifetime. So everyone's going to be different. Everyone's got their own soul growth and trajectory and contracts. Some have come to earth to ascend and spiritually awaken through the meeting of a twin flame, and then they're catalyzed by that experience, and that's what pushes them, propels them forward. Some will have life experiences. It could be death, it could be illness, it could be so many other things, divorce, it could be, losing a job. It could be so many other life events that catalyze and trigger the beginnings of an awakening. And it could be multiple events. So, and I've always said this, if you resonate with being a twin flame and you genuinely do feel like you are one, it doesn't make anyone that is any better than anyone else that isn't. Like I said, it's all just the experiences that we're all signed up to individually. Now, I did an episode that talked about the stages of twin flame journey. I think it was like 7 stages. And there is a stage at the end, I think it's the 7th stage, that talks about union. And there's actually like a physical union of being with your twin flame. And if I've lost anyone at this point, I would just recommend you, you know, either you resonate with the whole twin flame sort of thing and you've got some insight. If you don't, I'd pause this video and I'd go back into my playlist that's around twin flames, divine feminine, divine masculine, and you'll find some really good sort of contextual stuff to this, and you can come back to this video because I don't want to like confuse you. Now, going back to the point of the 7 stages, the stage at the end was like physical union with your twin flame. After sort of meeting, let me start from the beginning. Excuse me. Feeling that there's someone else out there for you, feeling that life is not quite right. Then you meet them. Then it's like this romance. Then it's like, whoa, like, who are you? Like, I can't believe I'm so drawn to you. Then you start getting, like, it's a bit of a small honeymoon period. Then you start getting into these, like, triggering, mirroring moments, and it gets deep and intense. And then most likely it's a separation. And that was 11/11, as I said that. A separation. And then after the separation, you go into this real self-work and you try to, but it's that inner journey. It's the inner journey. And the inner journey to your own self-union within yourself of masculine and feminine energies, mind, body, soul, spirit, learning your real purpose on earth and aligning to your real soul's calling, whatever that is, and knowing who you really are authentically and showing up in the world as who you really are, and shining your light. And thereafter, there can be a union with, your twin flame. And though that part there, that there can be a union, it's not always set in stone. And I think I said that in that episode, like, it's a choice. There's always free will. And, not every set of twin flames choose to come into union in every lifetime. Some have had many unions in past lifetimes, some might have not, and etc., etc. But there are many, don't get me wrong, there are many that are coming into union in this lifetime. And their collective union and in the 3D is also a powerful merging of energies, both of them having done massive work, coming together, and they're leading Earth by just being this high vibrational new blueprint for love based couple that are not, embedded in all the old school ways and the old dynamics and the old narratives of what love is supposed to be in marriage, because all of that is BS. And if you've listened to all my videos, you'll get why I say that. It's not healthy, it's distorted. There's lots of things that have been passed down that just suppress the feminine energy, let patriarchy continue, not help the masculine energy, suppress the feminine energy within the men. So, so new healthy dynamics for relationships, for love, and a real coming together and working together as a team, and healing essentially is the foundation of the new blueprint for love, so that both can rise up together. So a lot of divine feminines that will resonate with being a twin flame, you have that stage where either they're in the separation or they're going just towards the separation. And it's around those times where all you can think about is wanting to be with that person, and you really want that to happen. And there might even be moments, right, where whether you consciously do it or not, that you are like, okay, so I know that I've got to work on myself. But in the back of your mind, you're like, yeah, okay. But if I work on myself, then, maybe I'm guaranteed this union with this person. But again, if you think about it, you're still fixating on something that's outside, and you're fixating on a person. And I always say, and I've learnt this on my own journey, and I will continue to say this because this is one thing I know is truth for me, is when manifesting love, we should never fixate on a person. We should focus on the love within ourselves, and then focus on manifesting an energy that is of the right essence and alignment to us for a healthy and vibrationally aligned and attuned connection to come and manifest into our life. Now, where should I go with this? We could go a few ways. Like, this is a freestyle, right? Many of you might be in a separation now. Many of you might be talking to your twin flame. And so those that are actually feel that they're in a divine union and they're actually with their twin flame and they've been through the separation and all of that, then you're in a different space and you've done some seriously incredible work, and it is beautiful to know that you guys are together and you have to still continue to work together, and that is really beautiful, and that gives me a lot of joy and appreciation for that happening here on earth. Those that are in separation or going into separation or having a really challenging time with their counterpart, and they're not actually in a relationship, but it's a bit of tug and war, and they don't know whether it's a relationship or it's just a situationship or complicationship. Complicationship, I like that one. If you're in those situations, anything can happen. Any outcome is possible. Yeah, you could, there could be opportunities to come into a union at some point with them. You may have a choice to at some point or not, or actually you may be presented with far better than you've ever imagined or expected. Now, that's why I've done this episode, not choosing to be with your twin flame. Why would you not choose to be with your twin flame? Well, clearly, if you're not choosing to be with them, and I'm not talking from a place of self-sabotage, you're not choosing to be them because you don't want to do the work. I mean, there is that element, there's that trail of thought, right? There's a group of people that might not want to do the work, and they're like, I don't want to be with that person, and they don't want to do the work. And so if you're that person, you're not going to really be on this video right now, to be honest with you. But those that are like, no, I want to do the work, and I'm not doing it for them, I'm doing it for me. I know that I need to rise up. I know that this is right for me, right? I know. Doing the work, you're focusing and you're rising up, and you're seriously rising up. And I'm speaking from first-hand experience. So my twin flame journey has been, 13 years, 14 years? And in the early days, I didn't even know it was a twin flame relationship or connection. There was little nudges, and I didn't really understand why that person kept coming into my life. I didn't understand what purpose they served. Then further down the line, their purpose started to become more clear, and I realized that they were bringing a big mirror to me and my life and my dynamic that was not right for me. Like, I could not hold on to those things, and I needed to liberate from those things. So then they served a massive purpose. And so I didn't see it for what it was at the time, but then a few years passed and I started to realize, whoa, okay. And then I started to pick up on the fact that, oh, okay, twin flame, right. And went through the hardships of like, oh, but I want to be with them. Oh, and it was really hard. You get a lot of telepathy. You see a lot of signs. You feel like you're being haunted. You're in separation because a lot of the times the divine feminine walks away from the dynamic because they can't put up with the bullshit anymore, right? Because there's a lot of like nonsense that you experience, and they're doing that because it's part of the soul contract. Like, I'm not going to love you because you've got to love yourself. So I'm going to treat you quite shit almost so that you learn to go and love yourself, which I think is a beautiful assist. It's a beautiful, it's just beautiful because I needed that. I definitely needed that. And that I wouldn't be where I am today without it. But then you actually go and start doing that work, and you start to rise in your power, and you really recognize that, wow, like, I have these amazing gifts. I've got the creation, the power, and the ability to create universes and new realities and jump onto higher timelines. And the unexpected part of that, well, you start to realize your power, but you might not realize in the full power. But what starts to happen is that you'll start to see that the new realities you're creating are sending in new blessings, new opportunities, and new openings, whether that's to do with, meeting new people and friends, healing old relationships, closing out old cycles, becoming more abundant. And when I say abundant, I mean abundant in the sense of resources, goodness, love, not just money, but yes, it can be, building stability, rising up in your career, having more of a sense of self-empowerment, right? And lots of great blessings and protection, and having the right people around you that are vibrating in the same way. As you're experiencing that, the universe can serve you opportunities and new connections. And those new connections, be it romantic, can be other alternative Emperor energies, divine masculine energies that are on a frequency that you didn't even realize. You may have not ever met them before. And so the reason why I'm saying is choosing to not be with your twin flame is that you may well experience some beautiful energies. And I'm speaking from first-hand experience. I had some really interesting interactions during Lionsgate especially. And these specific interactions showed me it wasn't about me being with this person per se, beautiful soul, and I'm really glad I did meet them and have an interaction with them because it showed me so much. But they came and brought me a message, and that message was the realization in my heart and soul that I could feel love. I could feel this great, beautiful feeling of fulfillment of, of being with another and enjoying the presence of another and kind of, spending time or having a little sacred space and trust and just enjoying that moment. I could have that all over again and feel like beautiful, like really enjoy that feeling of love. And I didn't think it was possible. I thought, this only going to ever be with this twin flame of mine. I never really felt that before. I had other opportunities to maybe experience it, but I never really fully felt it like how it was with them. So then this interaction gave me so much, and I was really grateful. I was like, whoa, I've actually felt, I never thought I'd feel like this again. Now, I wasn't falling in love. And I want to make this really clear. I wasn't falling in love. I wasn't, just head over heels or going crazy. But I felt this sense of beautiful love within my heart. And I noticed my heart was actually open to that experience of just exchanging with someone, to, interact with someone and allow them to be vulnerable and allow myself to be vulnerable. And that's when the real penny dropped for me. And I was like, wow, I am so much more open to higher frequencies, higher timelines of romance, love, and alignment from the heart space. And actually, I don't know if my twin flame actually makes sense to me anymore. Like, I don't, I'm not consciously in interactions with them. I'm doing my life, they're doing their life, and I'm sharing that with you. And because it didn't feel right. Like, it didn't feel right in my heart and soul to try and pursue something that didn't feel right, I always felt if it's meant to be, it's going to come to me. And if it doesn't come to me, it doesn't. But I kind of always said, what, I would always talk to this person. I would always, give them the love and the respect, because I love and respect myself. I forgave them from past situations, and I made peace with myself about things, which was great. And I really found like the healing and the closure within myself. So I didn't really need to speak to them to get any healing or closure. Do you know what I mean? And that I think is really, really powerful. But it was at that moment that I was like, wait a minute, am I even attracted to my twin flame anymore? Because I think what happened ultimately was the attraction, both mentally, physically, and spiritually, kind of died away. And the reason why I think that really happened is because I had catalyzed and alchemized from the catalyzed moments. I therefore alchemized and transmuted the pain into power, and that power then turned into massive healing, which then transmuted into abundances of love and light. And it started to become more expansive and more expansive, bringing my field into a quantum experience of like bigger energies of love, of light, of joy, of fulfillment, of really being able to be vulnerable from my heart space. And so then it just opened up a whole uncharted, unexpected set of realities that I just didn't even know or anticipate. And it's at that moment I was like, wow, I don't even feel attracted to my twin flame anymore. But not in like a, oh, it's because I think that you're ugly and you're no good or you haven't done the work. It wasn't even that. Like I wasn't even, because there's a lot, I know a lot of feminines, we get into this, right? We get into that whole, oh, he's not ready yet because he's not done the work, right? Oh, and I'm not gonna lie, like I feel like the divine feminines, yes, they do a lot of the work on this journey, but it's not to say that the masculines haven't. I do believe that they're doing the work. I do believe that, you know, they're going through stuff, but their rate of transformation might not be the same. It's going to be different in every single journey. Some of the journeys, some of the dynamics, you know, the masculine might start to rise up even faster than others, and then there's a free will and a choice, and those masculine and feminines come together, and they have that free will to choose. But in other situations, and I know this as of many feminines I've seen and I've witnessed, that they actually have transformed at a much higher rate, or let's say, you know, faster pace than the masculine. And they're on different timelines now. And actually, you know, what's to say they can't enjoy that timeline that they're on? They've worked so hard to be there. So the reason why I'm saying choosing to not be your twin flame could actually end up being the more powerful, the more abundant, the more expansive, and the more, you know, incredible opportunity right at your fingertips. But I think that the only time you will really feel that and experience that is when you've come to a point of like a full 360 and you're like, what? And like I've done a couple of exercises just to see, this not my ego? It's not my ego. So I had another interaction where I was like, wait a minute, my heart chakra is like singing to me here. What's going on? And then I realized the universe is showing me that there's plenty of great divine masculine energies that can definitely be of a vibrational match for me if I want it to. And I just have to say yes. So I was like, okay, right, is my ego acting up? Like, I'm not, because, you know, a lot of feminists would be like, oh, forget him. He's not done the work and whatever. And I knew I wasn't doing that because I'd made peace. I had even several dreams that with my twin flame. And that was months back now. But it basically, and I think that was the sign, it was showing that me and him were at complete peace. And it was really beautiful. It was like we're just in peace with each other, and it was really nice. Like I just found peace with the whole situation, and I was really grateful. And my coach actually said, yeah, that is the symbolism, the representation of you really finding that healing and that peace within your heart of the connection. And I think that was my time of me in my conscious state and my higher consciousness saying, the work here is done. But I didn't really anticipate anything else afterwards. And so that has been a really phenomenal experience. I then did this exercise, which I'm going to share with you, where I had to look at my twin flame a few times. Just a photo or whatever I could, just so I could connect with. It was connecting with their energy without photos. And then just like looking at a photo. And what I found, right, is when I was looking at the photo, I didn't feel anything. I saw someone that I felt was a beautiful soul and that has had a major impact in my transformation. And I just looked at that photo going, thank you. Thank you for everything you did, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything, because I wouldn't be here now. I wouldn't be like so powerfully in my energy and in my essence, like living this incredible life that I'm so grateful for, and able to share with other feminines as well, and be really attuned to my gifts and my talents to help Earth and to be part of this movement for the new Earth. So there was that feeling. And then even, everyone experiences this. Those that are on the Twin Flame journey, you get those signs, right? You see their name all the time, or they come up in your head, or you just see signs, symbols, synchronicities. And I've had it for so many years, like the name following me everywhere, the energy following me everywhere. Sometimes it's so intense. In the earlier days when I hadn't done the healing, thought I was going mad. I'd just like get so frustrated, want to cry, want to hit the wall, want to smash the wall, wanted to just go crazy, scream. Look, can you leave me alone? But those signs were coming in so hard and fast because that was the universe's way of going, you need to heal, right? And I didn't realize that. The more you see their name and their synchronicities around you, I'm not saying that they're not telepathically communicating, but it's also the universe's way of going, you need to go back to the home of yourself and find yourself. That's the deeper meaning of it. And it took, I went on that journey, but then I was doing the healing and everything, and I still was getting the energy, the telepathy, the signs of synchronicity. And in recent months, I'll continue to get it. Sometimes you get it more than others, some a little bit less than others, but I got it. And I tell you something, it was just like, okay. And it was like, not like I wasn't connected, but I was so detached, and not in a cold-hearted way, but so sort of like in my energy and completely sort of away from that. And I could recognize it and see what it is. I even had a waiter today when I was out at dinner who had the same name. And I was like, hi. But it was fine. I actually even had a bellboy the other day that had the same name. But it didn't mean, and I said to myself, well, that name, I can redefine the meaning of that name now. It doesn't have to mean that the work here is done. I choose not to be with them. And I consciously spoke to the universe and said, I'm in a great place, and I'm in loving my life, and I'm loving everything I've done so far, and what I continue to do, I know I'm going to love. And so be it. Like, there will be challenges for all of us on this journey and on this path, but the gifts, the talents, and the intuition and the connectedness to myself will help me navigate through those. And I will always share the gratitude for the support from the divine realm and everyone that's come on my path to help me to get to where I am. I'll always be grateful for. But please don't send this twin flame back to me, because I don't want it. And I consciously said that. And I just want you guys to know this. I actually said it several times. I said, I don't need to say it anymore now. I mean, it's on this video now. I think the universe knows. And I was like, no, I don't want to, because I know in my heart and soul that isn't aligned to me. And I can't even imagine myself wanting to be there anymore. And I know that what is aligned to me is another version of greatness that really aligns to who I am today, and where I want to go, and is the embodiment of me in a great, beautiful, exceptional mirror, where can start a new story or continue a story, because I truly believe a lot of these connections are lifetimes worth of connections and soul stories and history. And that's at that point, that was when I said to the universe, and that was the point that I chose not to be with my twin flame, and I continue to choose not to be with my twin flame. And I genuinely feel in my heart and soul that they won't come forward, because I've consciously chosen my reality. And I think that's best for them and best for me, because I wouldn't want them to come forward and try to want to be with me and then they get rejected. I mean, that's not nice, because they will get rejected. I won't want to be with them. Unless the universe really is like, no, I know you said you don't want it, but there is a higher purpose here for both of you. We've got a plan for you both. So we're going to construct it in a way that you're going to bump into each other. And like, yes, it's free will, but we're going to bring you together in some unforeseen circumstance. That, I'm not going to like say that's not possible. That could be possible, but consciously, I am the creator of my reality, and so are you. And I've got to this point, and it is just beautiful. It is absolutely phenomenal. And I've experienced the art of the possible and the potentiality of beautiful divine energies that are out there that can be of great alignment to myself. And I'm aligning and dancing with that rhythm of vibration. And I am, enjoying that dance and that co-creation with the universe. So as I said that, a fly just turned up. So that's confirmation. I don't know where that fly came from. It's almost like a little mosquito. Oh, don't want to get bitten. I was a mosquito when I was about 8 years old in a Goan concert. Can you imagine? Ugh. Yeah, a mosquito. Had to wear like black tights and like all black, and it was almost like I had to do this dance like a figure 8. Infinity sign. Yeah, that was one of my stage moments. Anyway, I digress. But the fly is probably confirmation of something there, right? Spirit's like, yeah. So I hope that this message, this episode, helps you in some way, especially if you do resonate with being on the twin flame journey and you think that, you have to go through those stages, and the last stage is union, and then, it's self-union and then physical union with the twin. If you feel like you're having to go on this like set way, it's not that. And there's a lot of spiritual teachers out there, twin flame instructors and guides and stuff. And I just had to stop the other day and say to myself, these lot are making a big business out of this thing, right? Like, it's a business now. And I don't quite like that. I feel like there needs to be more of this talk. And everyone realizing that actually the twin flame is just a part of you just finding your power. And I know that twin flame instructors talk about that, but they talk about find your power, get your self-union, and then you can manifest your twin flame. That part, I want to just change that script. I'm coming from a place of saying, yes, I've been on the journey. Yes, I resonate with having been a twin flame, and I won't label myself that now, but I don't even like the labels. But having gone through that journey, I'm not that. I'm just a goddess, a divine feminine, a queen, a woman, a soul living a human experience, a starseed, whatever you want to call me, a galactic warrior, a light warrior, peace warrior. But yeah. So I feel like there's a lot out there that is leading a lot of souls and feminines down the wrong path sometimes. And even the masculines, they might be thinking, oh, I want to be with her. But it's going to be the same for them because it's a mirror. Everything's the same, right? So I hope that this message helps. I hope that it gives you some insight into the untapped potentiality that is available to you, that you can manifest and create such incredible realities from the twin flame experience, and not necessarily having to be with them. It can be far, 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 far more magnificent than what it could have been like to be with them. So I'm going to leave you with that. Think about it, let it soak in. If you've got any feedback, leave me a message. I'd love to hear from you. I'm really keen to know what you guys think about this message, and I will share more. I think there's a few more messages around this to share. So with that being said, I'm going to love you and leave you. Peace, love, light, and abundance. Soul Tribe. Mwah, 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 mwah.